Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Nasty here. Welcome today to a bit of a squad builder here on FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. Now we're going to slightly move away and not focus on a TOTS player for today's video. It's all been blue lately and we're going to switch to purple today for a new player of the month that has come out on the game. Don't get me wrong though, there are still going to be a couple of TOTS players in the squad and it's going to be a full special team, and let's get building today. Now guys, a couple of things. Firstly, if you would hit that thumbs up button on the video, that'd be amazing. And also, let me know, do you like the idea of like no green screen with sort of a background there if I got those two signed player things actually hung up on the wall and stuff? What do you think? Green screen? No green screen? I'd like to know your feedback in the comment section below. So we start with Anthony Lopez in form in goal. 85 rated in form for 18k. You're not exactly ever really going to lose coins on that, and it's a similar story for a lot of the players in the defense. So we move in and get Gaston Pereiro. He is a second in form and looks incredibly usable with 91 pace, 86 dribbling and 84 defending. Great passing stats as well right there. High work rates. I think a lot of people actually quite like to use a player like this. Now moving to the left back, we've got in form 82 rated Marcal. I don't know how you pronounce it, but 85 pace and great dribbling, as well as him being fairly tall. You know, not bad at getting up and down that wing. He's not quite got the defensive stats that Pereira's got, but to be fair, like he actually looks like a bit of a beast, and he performed well for me today. I liked him at left back. He gets a perfect link to Marcelo, the 85 rated Lyon Brazilian centre back. This is the 85 rated one. I think there's a couple of him. Maybe there isn't, I'm not too sure. But 72 pace, 87 defending and 89 physical on this guy. Those are some pretty sick stats for a centre-back. And then that position change for FUT birthday, Danilo Pereira. 70 pace, 78 dribbling, like good dribbling and passing for a centre-back. And then, of course, 85 defending, 90 physical, and he's 6'2" with medium-high work rates. Apart from that 70 pace, which is just a tad bit slow, he's a great centre-back on FIFA 18. So that right there is the goalkeeper in the back line. We're going with a standard 4-4-2 today because a lot of pros use this, and I wanted to see if I could make it work, and I somewhat struggled, but we'll talk about that during the clips. So I've got one player who's actually off chemistry in this video, and it is Hirving Lozano. 7 chem is what he'll be on today, playing left mid, but he is a right mid. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether people find that to be a problem in squad builders if I play one player off chem, but it's Lozano. We all know how OP he is. 7 chem Lozano is still going to be ridiculous, right? As you can very well imagine. We then have Raheem the Dream, Raheem Sterling, team of the season at right mid. This is an untradeable version that I have, that I was lucky enough to pack in my guaranteed TOTS pack the other night. 98 pace, 96 dribbling, 94 shooting. Just a crazy player. Like, he didn't get as involved as I wanted him to in today's squad, but we'll, you know, there's a couple of strikers in this team. That's who I wanted to get up there and involved with, so that is why he didn't really get the goals. Yaya Toure comes in at centre mid. You can use his regular version if you guys don't have the 86 rated FUT birthday. I know a lot of people went and got that Rooney rather than Yaya, but I decided that Yaya would fit my style of play a bit better, and I've used him quite a lot. We then have Marco van Ginkel, 87 rated team of the season player. I've had him for like a week and he's 47k when I bought him, but I think he's sort of nearer 100 because of all of the guaranteed TOTS SBCs that have come out. Like, the supply of actual TOTS players that aren't super expensive is quite low, so a lot of those players have absolutely skyrocketed in price. And then we have Gaston Pereiro up front. I think that's the third Pereiro in today's squad. We've got Danilo, we've got Ricardo, and then we've got Gaston. He's not actually really going to play up front, although he sort of could with the stats that he's got. 87 dribbling, 88 shooting, 6'2", but he is let down somewhat by the skills and weak foot. But take a look at those in games. You know, they're actually pretty impressive. And my role was to actually switch this formation up, and I'll show you that in a second, and I'll let you know where everyone's going to be playing. But today's video is all about this guy, new player of the month, 88 rated striker Potm Zaha. He looks mental with the 96 pace, 93 dribbling, 88 shooting, 85 passing, 82 physical, and he was super cheap as well. So I know today's video is basically called Is He Worth It? And just without even using him, you can say that he probably is worth it because of the amount that he actually cost, and against the fact that he's an 88 rated Premier League player. You can submit him for another SBC if you wanted to. You're going to get a 25k and a 50k pack just for unlocking him, and during Team of the Season, you never know what that's going to throw at you, right? So this is what the actual team would change to in-game. Sometimes I left it as it was in the 4-4-2 because I am trying to learn that formation a little bit better. But then this is really how I wanted to play with it because I didn't really want Pereiro up front. I wanted him more of a centre mid cam type player. And knowing that I've got Sterling and Lozano and Zaha, I wanted them to be like my focal point front three of very tricky, fast, pacey players. So moving on into all of the goals that I was able to score. The one thing you're going to want to know is this Zaha any good in-game? Well, you saw from his player bio that he actually got like 11 goals in the 6 or 7 games that we were able to play. So a pretty good goal to game ratio, right? There were games where I didn't score and there were games where I scored a whole bunch. So it's very difficult to actually tell. But what I would say about him is that he feels kind of similar to me than what his previous 2 informs have felt like, in the sense that there's kind of a little bit something missing, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, he's quick, he's dribbling, he's got great dribbling and he will net you goals. But I feel like I miss so many chances with this player. Like, he can create them because, you know, obviously he's got that 96 pace, he's got the ridiculous ball control, dribbling, agility, all of that stuff, and the skill moves as well. So obviously he's going to earn himself lots of space, but actually nailing that into the back of the net was where I then had a bit of a problem. There were so many opportunities that I could create with this guy that just either hit the goalkeeper or got kicked straight into the defender's leg and he managed to block it, or went wide of the post, hit the woodwork. I hit the woodwork quite a few times with this guy. So eventually, yeah, you're going to score goals, but whether or not he's the right player for you, what I would suggest is that Wilfried Zaha, 88 rated striker, would almost get used as like a super sub. I think that is where he can come on and really deal some damage, because latter stages of the game, you're going to actually earn yourselves even more time when the defenders are tired, and at that point you get to get into space, slow it down a bit, compose yourself, and then nail it into the back of the net. It's when you're sort of up against defenders that are all full fitness and lots of TOTS players that we're coming up against at this point in the game, that he feels a little bit lost sometimes, and you know, there's going to be a TOTS defender that can just get a leg in the way of it, or something like that. So normally I'm quite positive about players because I can genuinely use them enough to try and get the best out of them, but I'm not going to I don't want to like come into this telling you guys, yeah, he's so sick, because yeah, he's great fun and all that, but don't get me wrong, I feel like I've used a hell of a lot of better players in the last few weeks than this guy, and that's not just TOTS players. You know, there's been other informs and special cards that have come out that I feel are way better than this, but just for like, he's got a fun factor about him, so that's great, and he is skillful, and he is Premier League, and he's high rated and all of that, but he is cheap. Like, if you save this, right, if you don't do this SBC and you save it until, let's say, tomorrow, you know, this video is coming out on Thursday, we'll get a new set of weekly objectives, I'm guessing, on Friday. Well, we do every week. Whether or not there's a TOTS player in there is, you know, we don't 100% know that, but for the past couple of weeks, we've been able to earn a TOTS player by playing 4 games of squad battles, and if that's the case, you guys could go ahead and do that again. And when that happens, you could go ahead and submit your TOTS player, rest of the world, in one of the SBCs for this guy. And that's going to literally take off so much of the overall cost for the player of the month, Zaha, because there's 1 TOTS player required, and then there's not much else. And it's like 2 81 rated squads, or one of them might be an 82 or an 83 overall. Like, it's you're going to spend probably 30k plus a TOTS player, and how you get that TOTS player is completely and utterly down to you. Whether or not you are good enough to win the daily knockout tournament and earn a player that way, that you don't mind submitting for Zaha, because let's face it, I would imagine that Zaha, player of the month, is better than what you're going to earn in the daily knockout tournament. You know, we got Davies last week. I mean, sometimes you get a higher rated player like Callion as 89. I'm not sure who else we had. Hoylett, you know, that's the sort of player that that you want to earn to then throw into an SBC like this, right? And there's been quite a lot of opportunity to do that. The only fear that I have is that the rest of the world players, 2 weeks running, seem to have gotten better. So whether or not the next lot, you know, it seems to be counting down from the top 50 rest of the world players. So are they just going to keep going up and up in rating? Are the weekly objectives going to start getting harder? Are we going to have to do, you know, more work to earn our players? If that's the case, you know, do you then not want to submit a player like that? So you're going to have to go out and buy a TOTS player? If so, it seems as though it's probably going to cost you about 100k in told to do this SBC. I think for a special 88 rated Zaha, that's a pretty damn good price. But just beware that he's not all it's cracked up to be in-game. I found there to be many, many holes in his game that TOTS players that I've been using similarly have absolutely nailed. So there you go, guys. Not the rosiest of reviews, but a great little squad builder today. Full special team featuring that new Player of the Month, Zaha. Let me know if he's right for your ultimate team. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.